to the point that King Herod had heard of him. Some people were saying about Jesus that he is John the Baptist who had been raised from the dead. And other people said, no, he is Elijah. And yet others said, no, he's a prophet, like a prophet of old. But when King Herod heard about Jesus, he said, John the Baptist, who I have beheaded, has been raised. For King Herod himself had sent men to go and arrest Jesus and bound him and put him into jail on account of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, because Herod had married her. And John had been saying to him, it is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife. Now, Herodias had a grudge against John and wanted to kill him. But she could not, because Herod had respect for John and protected him, because he thought that he was a righteous and holy man. And while he liked to go and listen to John talk, he was perplexed by the words that John had said. But an opportunity came when King Herod threw a birthday banquet for himself, for all of the officials of the court and all of the officials and leaders throughout Galilee. And during the banquet, his daughter Herodias came and danced before the court. And afterwards, King Herod, so proud and impressed by her, said, ask for me whatever it is, and I will give it to you. And he solemnly swore to her, whatever you ask of me, I will give it to you, even half of my kingdom. Well, the girl, she went and she asked her mother, and she said, what should I ask for? And her mother said, the head of John the Baptist. And so the girl ran back and said to her father, I want the head of John the Baptist on a platter. Now, King Herod was deeply grieved. But out of respect for his daughter and his oath to her and the oath to his guest, he sent for the head of the guards to go and behead John the Baptist. And the guard went to the prison and beheaded John and brought the head to the girl. And the girl went and took the head to her mother. Now when John's disciples heard of this, they came and took John's body and laid him in a tomb. This is the gospel of the Lord. Please be seated. So the girls didn't want to dance that much today, but how about you? Will you warm up a little bit? What is your move? How do you like to dance? Do you waltz? Do you polka? Can you tell I grew up in the Midwest? Maybe swing is more your style. It's a little weird to do those dances alone. Jitterbug?
How about the chicken dance?
Yeah. Do you floss?
Chicken duck a hoodoo, what?
Yeah. Maybe you twerk? Not going to do that one. Do you just get down? Snap a little, move?
I can know how to snap too.
No. Do you dance like no one is watching?
I sometimes dance by myself.
Most of us do not dance like no one is
Sometimes I dance in
watching.
my room. But I dance.
More so, have you ever been so overcome with emotion that you just had to dance? Or had planned to dance, but so overcome with emotion that you just couldn't? We probably have seen those videos, right? The kid who goes out on the stage at the dance recital, and it is a beautiful tutu, and maybe this tall, and stands there frozen as she stares at all the people, and all the other girls around her are doing the shuffle ball change, and she just stands there, unable to move. Or the kid who's so excited at the school recital that he's basically shout singing and doing all of the action super big and maybe adding a little more to it. so excited to be there. He's dancing as well. There's those videos, though, that also bring us with maybe a tear in our eyes. The wedding videos of a bride whose brother or uncle has stepped in to do the father-daughter dance with her shortly after her father has died. And she just stands there weeping, overcome with emotion. And pretty soon she's surrounded by every one of her male relatives. And they just kind of stand there hugging each other, weeping on the dance floor. There's also those videos and actually not even just videos, you probably have witnessed this with your own two eyes, of the person with their headphones on walking down the street, so into their music in their own world that they're just dancing and not caring who's watching them. And you probably have had a good laugh, actually, and enjoyed them. It brought a smile to your eye, to your face. More importantly than how you dance is what you dance for. And what expression comes through dancing? Because so much emotion comes through our dancing. Yet so many people are afraid to dance. We feel like we're going to be judged, that we won't have every step right, that somebody is going to notice that we are off a little bit, that we'll step on someone else's toes, that we won't quite do the floss right. I'm going to get it. That we will look like an idiot. That's probably most people's fear.
Really?
There's also probably a little bit of guilt and uncertainty and I don't know what else to call it, that might be just embedded in the back of our mind, even if we didn't grow up in such a household that has a little bit of sexual repression tied to dancing because of all those terms that only sinners and heathens and evildoers dance. My dad, who had a Southern Baptist stepmom, once laughed in church when the two of us were dancing together in worship for something. And he was laughing because he knew that she was probably rolling over in her grave, that we were dancing in church, no less. Yet throughout the Bible, people dance. Twice in our readings today, we hear of people dancing. David danced as the altar came to Jerusalem, the ark came to Jerusalem. He was so excited. It was probably this primal, tribal-like dance, so filled with emotion. And as it says in our reading, it said, David and all the house of Israel were dancing before the Lord with all their might, with songs and lyres and harps and tambourine and castanets and cymbals. Can't you just imagine that? Can't you just hear all the music going? And on top of that, David danced practically naked. He had just a small apron on. He was so into the moment. He didn't care what other people thought of him, including his own wife, Becca, who despised him. Yet he was so wrapped up in his joy for God that he did not care. And Herodias, King Herod's daughter, danced before the court in our gospel reading. It was probably a different dance, a choreographed one, where every step was practiced over and over again. Every look that she made, planned out in advance, wanting to impress the guest for Herod's birthday banquet, wanting to be judged rightly. And impressive this dance was, as Herod was so proud of his daughter that he offered her whatever she asked for. David and Herodias' dances were filled with emotion and caused other people to dance around them and other people around them to experience emotions as well. The difference between them is who they danced for. David danced for himself and for God, filled in the moment, not caring about if he was judged. And Herodias danced for herself and for other people. She wanted to impress, she wanted to please her father, hoping to be judged favorably. And the problem is not the fact that they were dancing for other people, because that is not a problem. Throughout human history, we have danced for other people. It's a way of communicating with others. It's a way of expressing emotion. The problem is the fact that they cared about being judged. That is the problem when we dance. Because let's face it, we are always judged. We will be judged whenever we dance because we are judged constantly. At every moment, people are constantly comparing themselves to you, wanting to know how they stack up compared to you. They want to determine if they are better than you or if you are better than them. If they should even come out on the dance floor with you, or if you should even be allowed on the dance floor. But do you care? Do you care that others are judging you so you let it get in the way of your emotions? Do you let the fact that other people are judging you to keep you from fully expressing joy or grief or excitement or loneliness? Does it keep you from the dance floor of life? Does the fact that other people are judging you keep you from doing things that you want to do? Does it keep you from thinking that you are worthy? Do you keep the fact that others are judging you from doing things that you love because you know you aren't at a professional quality? Does the fact that others are judging you make you do things that you know that you shouldn't? Peer pressure doesn't end the moment that we graduate from high school. We just have changed the name of it. Call it keeping up with the Joneses. And keeping up with the Joneses will put us into debt or lead to addiction, all because we don't want to be judged negatively. But the good news, the knowledge that should make us dance with joy, should be able to sing from the rafters, to do things that we've always have wanted to do and never have done for fear of being judged, is that God does not judge us. God does not care if we get every step right. God does not care if a few notes fall flat as we sing. God does not care if our art will never be displayed publicly. God does not care about whatever it is that you are afraid of in a way that you are being judged. Because God does not judge you. God does not care if we allow our emotions to overtake us to the point that we become that emotional wreck in public. God gave us an emotions so that we can feel them fully. So feel them. Give in to them. The excitement and the joy of life, but also the grief and the loneliness too. Live the emotions. Experience them. So that we can sing loudly and dance before the altar of the Lord and dance like we do not care if people are judging us. Because we know that they are, but God does not. And that is what matters.